Hi, this is Rsp Sports Dietitian, and welcome to our section on pre-workout supplements, the bad guys. This is going to be a really interesting section. This will be the biggest section of all the supplement review products, where we talk a lot about products that you're probably going to see and recognize. The perception of a lot of these products are they're really good because they're on the top 10 of bodybuilding.com's website of top sellers, which means a lot of people think they're really, they're worth a damn, and they're really not. And we'll go through a lot of that stuff. But first, I really want to talk about why do I put these on my list. So, in my opinion, what makes a pre-workout supplement bad? Well, there's a lot of things, or a lot of categories or points that I want to address first. Number one, a lot of these companies will use generic ingredients, meaning they're not using branded ingredients. They do this because they want to keep costs down and profits up. So the goal of a lot of these products you're going to see is really they want to make a lot of money. It doesn't cost a lot. It doesn't cost to make a lot of these products. It doesn't cost a lot to make a lot of the products that you're going to see. They're very inexpensive, but a lot of people don't know that because they haven't really they don't work in the supplement industry, so you're not supposed to know. And there's a lot of things that these companies do to make these products attractive. They use a proprietary blend. We'll talk a lot about the proprietary blend, as you've probably seen in part one. Or they mix a lot of individual ingredients and proprietary ingredients to really cover up the formula. They use stimulants to cover up for a poor formulation, so that a lot of the formulas don't have really what I would consider a sufficient dose that's based on science, and they're not third-party tested. So you run the risk, if you're a college or pro athlete, of testing positive for a banned substance. So let's go through that list. We're going to really dig straight in, and believe it or not, we're kind of in order on bodybuilding.com. In regards to the top 10 pre-workouts that they list, and it's really based on their sales. Pre-gym. Honestly, when this product first came out, it's not a bad product. I mean, it's not a terrible product. It's not on the ugly list. But in my opinion, there's a lot of things in here that's pretty deceptive. And it's a lot of things in here that really not going to work. So let's just go through this product. I'm going to have the ingredient list and the supplement facts on every single product. Number one, creatine hydrochloride. There's really nothing published on creatine hydrochloride. There's a couple of products that use it. It's usually recommended in smaller dosages, but if you do a PubMed search, you're not going to find really anything on this product or on this ingredient. They say it's better absorbed and higher quality, and it doesn't empty the stomach, and it gets straight absorption into the tissue. But show me the science. There's never been any science to really show, besides the company that manufactures this product itself. Again, beta-alanine. Beta-alanine's pretty useless. I mean, honestly, I hate to say that, but there's some decent research in muscular endurance, but it's really beta-alanine. If you want to use beta-alanine, the science shows 800 milligrams over 4 dosages usually has the best results when it comes to increasing muscle carnosine. But this is used for sports or events that last 60 to 240 seconds. Most strength training sessions don't last 60 seconds. You're not benching for 60 seconds. You're not squatting for 60 seconds. And in some cases you are. But at the same time, the research on strength and power, minimal, 3%, 4% increase. So there's nothing significant besides maybe you want to feel tingling. Betaine, a couple of studies on power. Usually those dosages are 2 to 3 grams. So again, an insufficient dose. Gym adds N-acetylcysteine, which is really for immune health more than anything else, by increasing glutathione. In alpha GPC, you really need to see this in 300 to 400 milligram dosages. There's been maybe a study or two to show an increase in growth hormone, but nothing that really translates into increase in strength or power at all. So really, if you look at the power and strength endurance matrix, it looks attractive, but at the end of the day, you probably have to take 3 scoops to see any true benefit. Again, we've talked a little bit about citrulline malate, but the research is poor. No research to really support. If anything, a 6-gram dosage is good. If you're going to take citrulline malate to increase nitric oxide, that's probably the dosage you want to start with. I would prefer he have a higher dose of beetroot extract or beetroot in place of that at about 10 grams. I think that would be better. Again, when we look at branched-chain amino acids, I think they're pretty worthless as a pre-workout. Maybe a slight improvement or a reduction in muscle catabolism, But if you're eating a good diet and you get a little protein pre-workout, that'll cover those branched chain amino acids. Finally, really what people drive the most is caffeine. 300 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous, some tyrosine for focus, huperzine as well. But really, caffeine has shown mixed results, really a lot of non-significant results when it comes to strength and power. And again, if you're looking at a pre-workout, we're looking at strength and power. More than likely, people are taking this to get through their workout. So yeah, the caffeine is going to help from the focus side. But at the end of the day, it's not going to help with strength and power. And that's what I feel pre-workouts should be designed to do. C4 was previously the #1 rated pre-workout on bodybuilding.com. In my opinion, this is probably one of the worst products ever formulated. Now, here's the original formula, and we're going to go over a few things here, but let's focus on what I think is really the bad. This product would have been in the ugly category if it was still formulated like this, but this is the old formula. Again, beta-alanine, creatine nitrate, which has in 1,000 milligrams, which is 1 gram, would do nothing. And arginine alpha-ketoglutarate is pointless. I mean, again, 1 gram, that won't have any effect whatsoever. What made this product really popular was because, the beta-alanine gave probably a little bit of slight tingling at that dose, but you combine caffeine with bitter orange, or also known as synephrine. So that's a pretty powerful stimulant combination. But what we don't know is that explosive energy blend is 741 milligrams. The first ingredient in that proprietary blend is vitamin C, as you see there. How much? We don't know. It could have been 300. It could have been 500 milligrams, which is pretty common. We do know the caffeine anhydrous is 135 milligrams. So that means the bitter orange or the synephrine, same ingredient, is a little bit less. But that's what gave C4 its probably results for people that when they take it. I can't tolerate caffeine. It would give me irregular heartbeats. But some people who do, that they need a big dose. That's where they got the stimulant, is from the combination of caffeine, a little moderate dose of 135 combined with synephrine. Again, synephrine is a banned substance in collegiate and professional sports. You take that product, or you take a product with that ingredient, you will test positive. You will be banned either at the collegiate level, lose eligibility, at the professional level, depending on the actual sport. 4 games in professional sports, 50 games baseball, and not sure with hockey and basketball. It's maybe not as stringent. But this product, this is the old formula. The next slide, we're going to compare. And really all you see, obviously the product on the left had the synephrine, has the caffeine. All they did really here was take out synephrine. They put in T-Core, and they put in velvet bean, slight stimulants, not nearly as powerful as synephrine, and really kept a lot of these the same. Still using creatine nitrate, increased beta-alanine by 0.1 gram, still using arginine alpha-ketoglutarate for some reason, and slightly changed the vitamin profile. Nothing significant. A lot of the same ingredients for the most part. Looks like they added vitamin. Now they still have vitamin B12. But a lot of these products are still the same. They added vitamin B6 really is the only addition to that. So not much of a difference, but the main thing they did was lower this explosive energy blend, kept caffeine, boosted it up 15 milligrams, took out the synephrine, and it's not nearly as powerful as it once was. But again, at the end of the day, this is not going to really get much out of anything. Maybe a slight increase in heart rate, blood pressure, maybe a little bit more energy, but you're not going to see any results from it. All right, so let's dig into, and I'll move a little bit quicker because we have a lot of products on the bad list. But here's a product that's fairly new, pretty popular product, #3 on pre-workouts. Just a terrible product. Again, all these companies use beta-alanine. They all want to tingle. This one uses a matrix of creatine, 2 different types of creatine, monohydrate and magnesium creatine. Still, I don't see anything on the magnesium in the form of research. I love Albion when it comes to using their minerals, especially their chelated minerals or their amino acid chelated minerals. But at the creatine side, I haven't seen any science to show why it would be better than monohydrate. At a 2 gram dosage or 2,000 milligram dosage, we're not going to see much out of that. Again, another company with a proprietary blend for energy or other ingredients, betaine, tyrosine, agmatine sulfate. Really, nothing. We don't know what the dosage is. So that might be 2 grams of betaine and 210 grams of everything else divided into what those ingredients are. So again, not third-party tested like most of the other products. The pre-gym is. So if you take it as a college athlete, I've known some athletes, it is third-party tested by Informed Choice. So is C4, especially the new product. So at least those products are third-party tested. This one is not. No Xplode. Been around a long time, very popular. Again, this is a product that has a ton of proprietary blends. Used to be when it was, an older, the original formula had like 18,000 milligram proprietary blend and just used a matrix of a lot of different ingredients. This one uses so many different types of creatine, from monohydrate to peptides to anhydrous to, another type of monohydrate, Creactivate. So I don't understand why they do that. Well, I do. It's to confuse the consumer, because consumers look at this and think, wow, look at all these creatines, and, wow, they even use hydrolyzed whey protein in a small dosage. This must really work. And that's why they do that. They put it into the proprietary blend to basically scam you. Here's an Endura shot with some beta-alanine. Again, most of these companies are going to use carnosine because that's the branded. It's a great form it's the best form of beta-alanine. But again, potassium bicarb, sodium bicarb, which I love sodium bicarb. I think that's probably one of the few things that would make sense in this product. I just don't know how much. Mag oxide under the Endura shot. Magnesium oxide has about a 4% absorption rate. So that's just a filler. And again, what do these companies want out of this? Energy. So if you look at the Thermic Energy, it's a proprietary blend of some tyrosine, acetyltyrosine and tyrosine for focus, caffeine and hydrous. The pterostilbene, caffeine. I like that. I like that pure energy because it gives you a little bit of slow release, but we just don't know how much. So it could be a very small dosage. And then the nitric. What's funny about this is called No Xplode. It really used to focus on nitric oxide, and if you look at the NO alpha fusion, it's got 1 gram proprietary blend. So as you saw with some of these other products, they use 3 to 6 grams of citrulline. This has about 6 or 7 ingredients of a combined of 1 gram. The curse. The coolest thing about this product is the label. So it's a great Halloween product, but it's a terrible product. 3 grams of beta-alanine with creatine monohydrate. I'd love to know what the breakdown is. Again, it really wouldn't matter because it's probably not enough to do anything. We talked about beta-alanine is really not going to do much besides give you a tingle. A very low dose of citrulline and arginine, which has no scientific benefit, and then a low dose of caffeine. So this is probably one of the worst products when it comes to formulas. Again, beta-alanine is pretty cheap. A low dose creatine is not going to cost much. This is probably about a $5 cost to the company. They're selling 50 servings for $26.98. So they're not obviously concerned about turning over, much product in a month like most companies do. They're looking at giving you a pretty weak formula. Doesn't cost them much to make this product. It's probably more cost for the labeling than actual the product, and they sell it for a low MSRP of about $27. But no benefit overall to use this product whatsoever. Muscle Tech, I think they have some decent products. This is one of their pre-workouts. Again, another bad product. Why? Moderate dose of beta-alanine. It's not really just a moderate. It's just not used correctly. There's no benefit to have arginine. We've talked about that. The Hydromax is strictly a hydrating agent. Caffeine, there's your caffeine dosage. And everything else is in very low dosages. Yohimbe is actually starting to raise some awareness. I think the FDA is starting to kind of look at Yohimbe a little bit. It is a stimulant. There has not been shown any benefit to really take Yohimbe, maybe as a fat loss agent, but from a performance side, there's really no benefit to take Yohimbe. Haven't seen anything in the research to support Yohimbe when it comes to performance, but that's strictly from the stimulant side. So overall, again, another poor product. 30 servings, $33, way overpriced. GAT Nitroflex. A lot of high school kids I've talked to, they come to me and they say, "Oh, this is a great product." I think the most attractive looking thing to this product is when you look at the ingredient list, most people are clueless because it looks like a bunch of steroids. If you look at the product, it's like, wow, 1,3-diol. And what they used to do is, they used to basically not have they use the chemical name. So they use the chemical form when they list the ingredient and not really give you what the actual name of the product is or the name of the ingredient. So N5 Carbamyl L-ornithine is citrulline, L-citrulline, or 2-amino-5 is really citrulline malate. So it's interesting how they use the chemical form with a lot of these products to really confuse the consumer. Multiple proprietary blends, that's a big scam. They just don't want you to know what's in the product, and then now they take it and put it in chemical form. They put the actual name in parentheses, but when someone looks at this looks attractive because it's got so many ingredients, and 99% of the people are going to look at this and go, they have no clue what's in it. At the bottom, the clinically studied testosterone enhancing complex of calcium, calcium borate. If you do any type of research, there's no research or publication that has any solid science to support this to show any increase in testosterone use. So again, another terrible product, $32.49 for 30 servings. Save your money. Pre-caged. Again, just a good name. Just a lot of these companies look at the name, they look at the labeling, and they think, what can we do to make this attractive? Now, probably one of the better formulas, in my opinion. It's still not something I would recommend anybody buy. Again, just a high dose of citrulline. If we go from the top to the bottom where I have the arrows, so you can kind of scroll down. They put a low dose of branched chain amino acids. Then they add a separate dose of leucine of another 3 grams. I'd recommend leucine intra-workout, post-workout, as a muscle, as a prevention of muscle breakdown and muscle recovery, but not pre-workout. Carnosine beta-alanine, again, at that 1.6 dosage. So most companies are going to use 1.5 to 2. That's going to be pretty common. Beta power for betaine, not a bad dose, but 2.5 to 3 would be better. There's no research to support the creatine hydrochloride again. But what they did here is they say, here's a patented version of this. And again, that's just another way to confuse the consumer and make them really think this product is attractive. And then some coconut water for hydration, and then an auric blend of some antioxidants consisting of green coffee bean and green tea extract. Those really, the second one's more of a stimulant, and then some vegetables in a very low dose. So $36.97 for 20 servings, way overpriced. Probably cost about $6 to $8 to make this product, maybe a little bit, maybe $7 in between. Most expensive ingredients are going to be the leucine and the carnosine. They do have the Capsamax. I like the capsaicin extract. I think that you combine that with MCT oil. That's been shown to be effective, but overall, not really a great product when it comes to a pre-workout. The Rsp Dino. I think when this product first came out, I looked at some of their lines and I was like, wow, they're really trying to do a decent job of formulating. And then, if you look at this pre-workout, I probably should have selected a better label for us to look at because it's not super clear. But, again, a lot of these companies are going to use the same type of formula. They kind of look at a lot of what others are doing and seeing what can we do to make it a little different, maybe keep the price, and cost down, so we can increase our sales. Citrulline malate, 2 grams. We see some of the other companies using 6 grams, some using 1. Beta-alanine, 2 grams. Agmatine sulfate, poor research. The focus and activator, taurine and glycine and N-acetyltyrosine. But really the main driver of this product that's going to make someone feel anything, the 516 milligram CNS igniter matrix of caffeine, dicaffeine malate. Those are going to be your 2 products or 2 ingredients that are really going to have any type of pump or any type of focus and feeling in the blood. So it's a high dose of caffeine. Basically, you're spending $30 for a month's supply of coffee. Now, this product, this company, what they did a nice job of all their products is making a really attractive label, just like Muscle Farm, and we'll get to their products shortly. But good name, Beast and Predator. So name for the company's Beast, name for the product Predator. Pretty cool. Now, that's what companies are looking at. They're looking, how can I make my product stand out on a shelf? And what can I do to attract the market, the vulnerable market, to really say, okay, what's going to make my product stand out? The name. Let's call it Predator, because that sounds like a pretty strong name when it comes to working out. Be the predator, not the prey. Yeah, it's a great marketing tool. But if we break this product down, again, another product that's an expensive dose of citrulline, beta-alanine, caffeine, and some vitamins. 4,000 milligrams or 4 grams of citrulline, 2 grams of beta-alanine, and a 350 milligram dose of caffeine. Again, we've talked about no science to support caffeine really in power. Beta-alanine, best for 60 to 20 to 240 seconds. and we really need to spread those dosages out throughout the day to increase muscle carnosine. Yeah, research has shown some of these higher doses can increase muscle carnosine, but the increase in performance is like like I said earlier, 3 to 5%. It's minimal. There's nothing to go run out and buy this in bulk and almost start shooting it. So, in my opinion, again, a very expensive product for what's inside. This used to be my favorite, probably pre-workout about 4 years ago. When it used to not have nearly as much of a proprietary blend, and then they reformulated it, and I just don't think it's a good product. It is third-party tested by Informed Choice, so if you're a college or professional athlete, you're not gonna really run the risk of testing positive. The only thing they really identify here is they give you 2 grams of beta-alanine, like just about 90% of the other pre-workouts do. I don't like the fact that they have a lot of proprietary blends. The only thing, again, so we take that 3,500 of the ATP amplifier, we subtracted 2,000 of the carnosine, and everything else is tyrosine, L-aspartic acid, which most things we're going to see is D-aspartic acid, red beet extract that's high in nitrates. We just don't know how much. So if they have some beet juice, yeah, you might get a little bit of nitric oxide support there. If we look at the cell transport insulin activator, yeah, dextrose, so basically sugar. We're going to have sugar, some glycine and ribose. Again, in the ribose, there's not really any solid data. Some studies have been done in sprint performance, nothing that really has shown anything significant. And then we look at the athlete performance blend, 2,000 milligrams of creatine nitrate, arginine nitrate, branched chain amino acid nitrate. At that dosage, you might as well throw it out the window. Energy, again, this is what companies are focusing on. I like the pure energy, I like that Terrell Stelbein caffeine, but probably the majority of this is going to be in the choline. Probably about a 200 milligram dose of caffeine, if that. So again, the proprietary blend hides that, makes it attractive. The most attractive thing about this product, they do a phenomenal job on the label. That label will stand out in any supplement store. And this company has gone from a $2 million company probably 4 or 5 years ago. They do over $100 million in revenue. They also lose a lot of money because they're spending a ton of money on expenses in product development and marketing. They've done a good job of making their products aware, but they don't do a good job of formulating their products. Another product of Muscle Farm, brilliant to really work with Arnold and get his name on things, but this is probably the worst of the formulations. $27.19, 30 servings, so a little bit less than $1 a serving for some arginine, glycine, agmatine sulfate, beetroot, and really none of that stuff has any benefit in this dosage. Again, we don't know what the dosage is because it's a proprietary blend. Most of this is probably arginine nitrate and glycine, everything else in minimal dosage. If we look at the energy blend, probably 1,500 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams of choline, probably 500 tyrosine, 200 caffeine, and some phenylpectine. Again, how much of this we don't know. Another proprietary blend, in my opinion. It's an expensive amino acid and vitamin supplement with some stimulants or a small amount of stimulant. So don't waste your money. The old Jack 3D, again, this is the reformulated version without DMAA. When we get to the bad, then you'll see all the things we talk about with DMAA. All they really do here is, again, proprietary blend, replace the DMA with Yohimbe, and that's it. They put some bark extract, some beta-alanine, that they've always had the beta-alanine, some arginine, some creatine, and some extracts that really have no benefit whatsoever. So 100 milligrams of caffeine, hardly any stimulant, any feeling in this product whatsoever. And expensive, $30 for 20 servings. Probably should be $30 for 50 servings. At least if you're going to spend $30, at least get a month and a half worth of product. So don't waste your money. Then now the micro, again, a combination of caffeine and a polyphenol. So probably a high dose of citrulline in the Super Performance System blend. No research to support those ingredients. Talked about it in numerous slides prior to this. The stimulant system, caffeine, norochlorine HCl. Basically, that's an antioxidant polyphenol that enhances the ability. The 3,4-dihydroxycinnamic acid enhances the availability of the norochlorine. Norochlorine is also known as hygenamine. that has been an anti-asthmatic drug that's been used, or asthmatic ingredient. Similar mechanisms as ephedrine. So this probably gives a pretty nice little stimulant effect. Again, I don't take stimulants because I can't. So I can't personally speak from experience, and I don't know anyone that's really taken the Jack 3D Micro. But at the same time, you're probably getting a good little stimulant effect from this. But are you going to get stronger? Are you going to get more powerful? Absolutely not. And then BPI, the one rep max Vortex. This used to have DMA. They reformulated. A lot of companies are realizing, or when the FDA cracked down on those companies and fined some of those companies, then they realize, hey, they have to reformulate their products. This is just a very expensive version of a hydration product. Glycerol is for hydration. Some caffeine, again, a big, proprietary blend of 1,700 milligrams. Some roots and leaves, some yohimbe for some additional stimulant. And again, the first ingredient's a hydration agent. So not anything I would spend my money on. But good looking packaging, good colors will stand out on the shelf. I wanted to put this product in here because of the cost, and it's also a multi-level marketing product. We're not going to talk too much about that side of the business. The one benefit of this product, it's third-party tested. I do like the 3 grams of creatine. That's not a great dose, but it's better than what we're seeing, and it's monohydrate. The L-alanyl L-glutamine is really, the sustamine's a hydration agent, and then a 2-gram dose of leucine. But for $72, now that's based on the website, with the multi-level marketing business, it's going to go through a third party, so you're probably going to get a little bit less than that. But this product is so inexpensive. This costs probably $5 to make, if that. I don't know the cost of the raw material of the L-alanyl glutamine. It shouldn't be much at that dosage. Glutamine, in high dosages, just L-glutamine itself, can help with immune function, maybe reduce upper respiratory tract infection in endurance athletes. But at this dosage, this is not an expensive product, and the cost of what they're charging is ridiculous. Now, if you took probably 2 scoops, you'll get some good creatine dose out of it. Other than that, it could be a decent recovery product with 4 grams of leucine, 6 grams of creatine if you took the two scoops. But for the cost, I wouldn't touch it. You can buy creatine monohydrate in CreaPure form. You can get 500 dosages for about $30 online. And then finally, this is a product that I thought when I saw it, I was like, it's pretty new. I like the packaging more than anything else because it's cool looking. But I was like, what? I wanted to add this to the list because I saw it on bodybuilding.com. Not a terrible formula, but definitely not something that's going to really have anything that's going to work. It's got some decent ingredients. The beta-alanine, 1,200 milligrams, pretty low dose. But as you can see, what they do here is they really push the 2 scoops. So, say, all right, 1 scoop you get 1.2, and 2 you get 2.4 of the beta-alanine. And then you get, obviously you're going to get double of everything under the 1 scoop. But again, they use 1 gram of creatine monohydrate in 1 scoop. If that was 3 grams, I'd say, hey, this is a little bit better. If that betaine said 2.5, I'd say, yeah, that's not a bad product. But they're really pushing the multiple scoops here. Now, if you took 3 scoops of this, I'd say you'd have a pretty good product. You'd have a high dose of beta-alanine, which that won't have much of an effect, but from a stimulant. You'd get 3 grams of creatine. You'd get about 2.5 grams of betaine. Don't know why they have the creatine HCl in there. That has no science to support it. The apple extract, I haven't really seen much data along that. And then at the bottom, you'd get 300 milligrams of caffeine, and if you took 3 scoops, you'd get 450. So that'd be a pretty high dosage. And then caffeine citrate, dicaffeine malate, and the theocrine. You got a multi-stimulant product here. That's what the real focus is. That's where you're going to get your pump, and that's what all of these companies are trying to do. Bottom line, under the bad guys, everything's really focused on how do I make my stimulants a little bit different? How do I label them differently on the supplement facts? Not really differently, but how do I show I have something different than other companies? And again, all these companies are fighting to see who has the best pump, and that's what you guys are looking for, is what's going to give you the most energy. Coffee will. Drink a couple of cups of coffee before you go work out. A lot of these coffee companies, they make strong coffee. You get the same dosage of caffeine, and you'll save yourself a lot of money.
So this concludes really section 3, or our section on the bad supplements. Again, I'd like to hear your feedback. Let me know what you thought about this section. Let me know if you have any questions about other products that you think might be bad, we want to add. We're always looking for ways to grow and expand the education we provide, particularly to our younger athletes who have access to these type of products. But I want to know what questions you have. I want to know what you would like to ask. If there's something, again, that you would like to discuss, put it in our Facebook chat. Let's have a discussion. I'll be happy to sit there and chat with you as long as possible. Let's kind of talk about a lot of the different things that are going on in the pre-workout world. I look forward to hearing from you, and stay tuned. I'm about to send you part 4, the ugly guys, where we'll talk about which products that you have to be really cautious about. Most importantly, we'll talk about products that have banned substances. So if you're a collegiate or professional athlete, these are products that would cause you to test positive for a banned substance, which means for a collegiate athlete, you're not going to, you're going to lose your eligibility for a year. Professional athlete, depending on sport, it could be 4 games in the NFL, 50 in Major League Baseball, etc. So stay tuned. Part 4, the ugly guys, is on the way to your email inbox. We'll see you soon.